a coworker that makes me want to quit my corporate job on the daily.
Bitch, I'm out here right now eating crab in your parking spot.
Another day with these fake hoes.
Did you ever have a coworker that you hate so much, everything they do pisses you off?
Now, I don't know why this is on my mind. I really don't know who need to hear this, but I'ma say it. Don't f nobody else at their job, and that's all I got to say.
If you love your job and all your coworkers, congratulations. This video is not for you. Please exit immediately, or stay on for watch time purposes, because I really need you. For the rest of us who've cried in the bathroom and stared at our laptops like it personally betrayed us, welcome. You're about to watch some of the funniest TikTok clips of coworker beefs and people having existential crises. Be sure to like and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get into the first clip.
And to the bitch at work who wants to keep running and tattling, trying to say I'm in your parking spot, bitch, I'm out here right now eating crab in your parking spot. So come do something. Like, y'all, we ain't even got parking spots at work. And honestly, I'm up here and she down here. So even if I do want to park in your parking spot, you can't do shit about it, because guess what? I'm above you. And this is why I don't even like coming into the office, because I work remote. I come into the office once a week, sometimes twice. Every time I come into to this office and come up here, I park in the same parking spot, and magically it's always hers, but she ain't never in it. No, I'm tired of this shit. Like I said, I'm out here right now eating crab in your spot. Run up.
As much as working in any environment is difficult, working in a corporate office can drive you absolutely crazy. A lot of the times, it's not even the job itself that's the hardest part of dealing with that job. It mainly has to do with the people that you're working with. So I can totally understand his frustration, even when it comes to arguing with something as small as a parking spot. Now, you may be wondering, what can drive an employee or colleague to this level of petty? Well, let's take a look at an example from this next clip.
I have a coworker that makes me want to quit my corporate job on the daily. She's one of those coworkers that for some reason thinks that she has more authority than she actually does. They're on the same level, but for some reason she thinks she's up here. People who work in corporate, I'm sure you can relate to this, having that coworker that thinks that they're your boss. She will schedule one-on-one meetings just to give me feedback on my latest project, even just to point out that I was late that day and that I need to do better. Like, I'm sorry, but there is only one person I will hear this from, and it's the person that writes my paychecks.
Did you ever have a coworker that you hate so much, everything they do pisses you off? Like, even when they do something right, you're still irritated because now you can't even criticize them properly.
Hi.
Hi.
And how are you?
I'm good. And how are you?
Yes.
Some weather we're having, huh?
Oh, and it is nice, and the birds.
The hardest thing about being a part of the workforce is the people that you work with. No shade, no tea. Every job that I've ever been in, the work was never the issue. It was always individuals that I worked with. Other than that one time when I worked in customer service, then it was the work. Dealing with people on a daily basis really made me want to catch a charge, right? But most of the time it's coworkers. Now, y'all know I don't never specify what job I'm talking about, okay? But I had this one coworker that always just seemed to be itching and fiending for my attention. One time, this individual parked next to me, got out of the car, and proceeded to come back to the car several times just so I would see him. That came back to the car several times, never grabbed nothing new out that Mind you, he big, and the car is old, so every time he open the door and hop back in that or he make a movement or he do anything, that just creaking and wheezing. No shame. This it didn't matter how many times I wore the same shirt, the same hoodie, the same jacket, the same joggers, the same shoes. This was gonna have a compliment. Hey, I like your shirt. I like your. You see me wear it 1,000 times. That is annoying.
One commenter says, "My coworkers don't like me because I'm quiet and don't bother people." Another commenter says, "It's to the point where I come in and don't even say good morning. Not because I'm being mean, but simply because people are fake and I'd just rather not speak at all. I'm just here for a check. All the small talk can go." Another commenter writes, "I hate the fiending for attention because why for me? We work at the same place. My coworker would be telling me, 'Oh, you eating XYZ today? You usually eat such and such.' What? Why are you watching what I eat? I literally never talk to them." But conflicts with employees can often be exacerbated by the fact that you don't really want to be at your job in the first place. So now we're going to take a look at a couple clips where people are questioning what their actual purpose is and whether or not they want to be at that job in the first place.
I hate my job. I am literally crying at my desk 3 to 4 days out of the week. I feel guilty to speak about the fact that it's a great job, but no matter how good of a job it is not my purpose. It's not. And if you are a purpose-driven person with dreams and there's something that you want to do with your life, it does not matter where you sit if you know for sure that seat does not belong to you. And I am tired of crying at this desk. I'm tired of feeling anxiety. I'm tired of feeling like I'm so unhappy, you know? And I was talking to my therapist the other day and she's like, what do you want to do? And I'm just like, I want to teach women how to love themselves more. I want to show up for other moms and other women. I want to do monthly meetups. I want to do events. I want to travel. I want to, you know, have this huge community that is growing, that's all about women showing up for themselves, and all the things, you know. And she was like, so why don't you create a company? And I promise you, I started crying because I have a company. It's called Her Glow. And I've done the brunches and I've done the meetups, but Her Glow is not taking care of my bills. You know what I'm saying?
What the are we doing on this earth, man? Every day, most of us wake up and go to a job that we really don't like, but we can't really quit because we got to get the money to pay the bills that they say it's important to pay. What the is the point of this life, man? We go to grocery stores and buy food that God gave us for free. Why the did we pay for lights? Well, that's just the way it is. You. I'm tired of all this. That's just the way it is, bullshit. This whole system is garbage. America ain't nothing but a big plantation, man. A big plantation. What the are we doing here? There are days I don't want to be on this earth. And I'm not saying I want to unalive myself and nothing like that. But I'm tired, man. It's like, what the is the point of any of this? To work till we 60, 70 years old? Most of us ain't gonna live to see 50. But we gotta work to maybe retire. Man, you and all that bullshit, man. I don't give a about who president, left, right, and all this dumb ass. I'm tired of this whole game, man. It's a big ass game. It's a big ass charade. America is a plantation. I don't give a what nobody got to say about it, man. This is exhausting. Like, I don't even want to look for another job. I'm going to walk in there. They going to ask me, why do you even want this job? It's because I need some money to pay the bills that they tell me is important to pay. Get the out of here, man.
Getting into some of the comments for this video, and they are downright hilarious. One commenter writes, meanwhile, the government. Another person writes, like, who the F made up a credit score? Another commenter says, they sell us water, bro. And another commenter writes, we buy food that God gave us for free. Now, this guy has a very hilarious way of breaking this down, but he's honestly speaking to one of the more fundamental parts of being an adult, is that you really have to do a series of things that you really don't want to do in the first place, all because you have to make a check to make a living. And I happen to think that a lot of workplace frustration stems from that place entirely. You're not getting any monetary benefits. You have no intellectual IP that you can take with you to another position. A lot of what you're doing for 8 hours a day is grunt work at your desk. And you have to work with people that don't see things the way you do. And for the most part, some that care a little bit too much, but that can bring up a lot of pent-up frustration inside you. It all really leads back to one simple question. Is working 8 hours a day at a job that doesn't fulfill or enrich you in any way, with the common interest of making another person more monetarily asset rich against the law of nature? Is this actually what we were supposed to do with our lives? Write your thoughts on that question in the comments and let's talk about it. And let's move on to the next clip.
Never, ever trust a coworker who does this. If someone at work does this, Pay attention, because this is where things quietly turn toxic. Never trust a coworker or a manager who gets upset about your reaction to their behavior. Let me explain. They say something out of line, they cross a boundary, they create the issue. You respond, you speak up, you try to handle it professionally, and suddenly they're mad at you. Not for what they said and not for what they did, but for how you responded. Now the story changes. You're too sensitive. You're making it dramatic. You just want to argue, when all you're actually doing is asking for clarity and accountability. That's not conflict, and that's deflection. That's deflection. They don't want to own their behavior, so they shift the spotlight onto your reaction instead. That's gaslighting. You don't get to disrespect someone and then play the victim when you're called out. That doesn't work in healthy workplaces, and it should never work in yours. So when you notice this pattern, don't take it personally. Name it, document it, protect yourself, because people who avoid accountability will always try to make you the problem. And once you see that, everything at work starts to make a lot more sense.
A mistake you learned the hard way that you can now help people to avoid.
Do not trust your coworkers. This was a lesson I learned very early on. Don't have them on your social media. Don't invite them into your personal life in any way, shape, or form. When it comes to the workplace, at least one of your coworkers will try to screw you over if they are given the chance. And I never understood this, because in my mind, I go to work, I do my work, and I go home. But for other people, they are very fixated on their coworkers. And the moment they find someone or something they don't like about a person, in their mind, they're like, there needs to be conflict. And they will do everything in their power to create conflict between you and them, or you and management. And what that usually looks like is either they are passive aggressive with you, or they make aggressive comments to you, or they complain about you to your manager about just anything and everything they can to make it look like you are a problem employee. Every job that I have ever had, I have either seen this happen to another person, or I have had to protect myself from someone trying to do it to me. And this is why I keep to myself in the workplace. There is an expression, and it goes, familiarity breeds contempt. And that means the more familiar someone is to you, the more they're going to find things about you that they don't like. And in the workplace, that means they're going to create conflict. And so keep your relationships strictly business in the workplace.
I don't know if this is toxic, but when I was in a job that I hated the people that I worked with, don't get me wrong, there were people that I liked, but overall the culture made me want to puke everywhere. Something that I did to help myself get through that time in my life was literally every single day I would just repeat to myself this mantra: this is not permanent, this is not permanent, this is not permanent. And I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what my next job would be. I didn't know how I would even get another job, but I would just remind myself, this is not permanent. I would reframe my mindset of being like, oh my God, I hate working with these people, to I feel bad for these people because they're gonna be working here for a really long time and I won't be. So I'm wishing them well, I'm wishing them the best. I feel like changing the mindset of where you're working if you're miserable, and kind of like feeling bad for everyone who works there versus knowing that you won't always work there, that really helped me, honestly. Just like reminding yourself this is not permanent, even if you don't know what's going on next. Like, the more you say something, the more it's true. So just keep repeating that to yourself. And yeah, that's my sense for the day. Hope it helps. I'm going on a date right now.
So the moral of the story is, as much as you hate your job and the people that work there, it's important that you remember life is way bigger than Slack messages, passive-aggressive emails, and Janet from accounting. This job is a chapter, not the whole book, and you're allowed to outgrow it. Well, that brings us to the end of our video today, guys. We covered a lot of pretty funny and insane clips about coworker crashouts. Did you have a favorite one? Make sure you write it down in the comments below. And until the next crash out, see you next time.